Hi, I'm Carol.
I'm Nick.
And we're your wine friends. If you're in the Navy and you're going to get stationed in Naples, Italy, one of the best things you can do while you're there is buy Italian wine at Italian prices and bring it back to the States. And we're not talking about 5 or 6 bottles, we're talking about hundreds of bottles. So we're your wine friends, but I'm also an active duty service member, and this is one life hack I want you guys to take advantage of. Before we get into the details, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're also on Instagram at Your Wine Friends. Okay, I'm gonna use my little cheat sheet so I don't misinform you. Can I ship alcohol from Italy? Yes. You can ship alcohol as long as it complies with all state and international laws. One of the biggest challenges with military PCS alcohol shipments is that every US state has different alcohol import laws. Some states, like Virginia, we're in Virginia, and Texas allow duty-free wine shipments with minimal paperwork, while others, like Florida, require permits, fees, and inventory lists before you can bring in alcohol. Control states, like Utah, strictly regulate how much alcohol can be transported. When returning to the States from Italy, you can typically bring a personal collection of alcohol as part of your household goods move, HHG. This collection must be intended only for personal consumption and may not be sold upon your return. If you only want to bring back a favorite bottle or two, Italian law allows travelers to take up to 1 liter per person duty-free in their personal luggage. However, you might still have to pay IRS excise tax upon entry into the United States. And for reference, 1 bottle is 750 milliliters, so 2 bottles is 1.5, so you're already over the limit. For the most up-to-date information, contact your personal property office, PPO, and your follow-on state's alcohol authority before you PCS to eliminate any surprises. The link to find your state's ABC site is in the description below. Your OCONUS shipment options. Your household goods shipment is your main shipment, which travels by sea and will take the longest to get back to the States. It will hold the bulk of your belongings that you won't need immediately upon arrival. Yada yada, you all know this stuff. Most families will include their wine collection in their household goods shipment, but keep in mind the weight limit. Your most important entitlement is your weight allowance. This is the maximum weight of your personal belongings the government will move at its expense. Your specific allowance is determined by your rank and your dependency status. It's crucial to stay within your weight allowance, as you will be required to pay for any overages. And for reference, each bottle of wine weighs approximately 3 pounds. Some movers will want to pack the wine first in separate crates, so let them know in advance to avoid any issues. Also, some movers will not pack carbonated beverages, so keep that in mind as you get ready to ship your collection. If you're really nervous about your wines getting damaged during transport, you may choose to have a third-party company transport your alcohol from Italy. This is a costly option, but I just wanted to let you know that it exists. You may be able to get a portion of this private transport reimbursed under a personally procured move, PPM, also known as a ditty. But knowing the military, this will probably not get approved. Again, talk to your PPO before considering taking this route. In addition to contacting the PPO in Italy and the Alcohol Control Authority at your gaining location, you should also keep an itemized list of your alcohol shipment. Some states require a detailed account of all products you're transporting. The easiest way to prepare this is to use our free spreadsheet detailing every bottle in your collection. Note the type of alcohol, alcohol content, quantity, and estimated value. When you arrive at your next location, the information will determine your total tax burden, if any. The link to our free spreadsheet is in the comments below. Nick, why is it advantageous for our sailors to buy wine in Italy?
2 reasons really. One, it is often a lot cheaper, as much as half to 2/3 of the cost, especially for higher end wines. But probably more important is that there's so much more available that you can get directly from the winery that you'd have a really hard time finding in the States through distribution or through traditional importers.
All right, talk us through how you'd read a label of an Italian wine.
Sure, it's very similar to wine from anywhere else. There are a couple peculiarities. The first of which is it really does kind of depend on the region. But with any wine, you're going to look at 3 things: where it was made, who made it, and when it was made. Starting with who made it, in this case the winery is La Cappuccina, and this is a wine from Soave. So we'll have the DOC or DOCG or IGT, which are all just different names of appellations in case the place is Soave. It won't say the grape necessarily, you just have to know that Soave is Garganega. And you also have to look up when it was made. In this case, it's on the back. This is a 2024 La Cappuccina Soave.
So on the bottle, you had mentioned DOC. Can you talk us through the Italian denominations?
Sure. Think of it like a pyramid. and there's four levels, really three that you'll really see and have to kind of care about. At the bottom, you have just table wine, which you really don't see much in the States. You'll see a lot of it in Italy, Vino di Tavola. Above that, you have what's called IGT wines, which are regional wines. So you might see IGT Toscana, IGT Veneto. Those are wines that they can be very high-end. They can be every day. They might have a grape variety listed on them, but they don't have any specific place name attached to them. And they'll also have a vintage and a producer name. Above that, you have what are called the DOCs and the DOCGs. Those are the more specific, site-specific places. So a DOC will have maybe a region or a village name as opposed to a grape variety. The DOCGs are the denomination of controlled origin and guaranteed. That's the highest tier, the tip of the pyramid. Those are things like Barolo, Chianti Classico, Brunello di Montalcino. Those are think of them as the most famous appellations. Those are also tasted by a panel before they're released. They have to get approval if they taste typical. So those are your more classic regions.
All right, Nick, if you are stationed in Italy, what wine would you purchase to bring home?
It depends on where I was. If I was in the South, I'd probably buy high-end Tarazzi, which is Aglianico. It's kind of the Barolo of the South. And if I was in the North, I would buy Barolo, for sure.
I also really like the Nebbiolo grapes. I'd probably get a Barbaresco. A little bit more drinkable now. All right, click the link in the description for our $5 guide on what wines we would buy if we were stationed in Italy right now. $5, it's less than a latte, and you get to help out a fellow service member.